Yeah, good morning, everyone. Market hits new high in the US, continue its run, mainly driven by consistent good corporate results over there. Taking clue from the US market, even Asian markets are showing positive trend today. India, we are having RBI policy meeting today. So key things to watch in the RBI policy meeting is the expectations on the rate cut is not there. Rates are likely to remain same, and even indication on inflation and GDP numbers are also likely to remain unchanged. Whereas there could be some statement for easing of liquidity. We are running very tight liquidity in the system. So any statement or any action for the easing of liquidity into the system will have a positive impact on the banking shares. There could be some CRR cut which can support the ease of liquidity in the system. So overall, taking clue from the international market and the RBI policy meeting, we expect market to remain more of a positive in today's trade. Now I'll request technical team to take up from here.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Good morning, all of you. See, yesterday we saw that after a gap up open, Nifty closed flattish note, but managed to sustain important level that's 21,900 and above range. To today, we expect flattish to positive open and trading within the range during the day. Next immediate resistance place around 22,040. If Nifty managed to close about break this level in closing basis, then we expect further rally towards 21,140, 22 140, 22 240 level in upside. First immediate intraday base, first support place around 21,900 and then 21,840 at downside. Below that, then we expect towards 21,750 and 600, but major support place around Nifty 21,840 at downside. Bank Nifty also yesterday closed in flattish and managed to sustain above that important level, that 46,000 and above. To first immediate intraday resistance place around 46 300 and then 46 600 next resistance in Bank Nifty. Support plays around 45,750 first. Below that, then again trade below the important long-term moving average. That's come around 45, 750 and 750 and 700 at downside. If break that, then we expect further pressure towards 45, 300 and 200 at downside. So both index last two trading session managed to sustain important level. So we expect some positive in today's session. Fin Nifty first resistance place around 20,640, then 20,730. And intraday first immediate support place around 20,460. And below that 20,370, 300 next immediate support for Fin Nifty. Stock specific trend, we saw that yesterday's upside momentum in the intraday session and managed to sustain that level. So we expect this trend, a positive trend, is following today's session also upside 38 4,000 in next immediate target for trend. Delta Corp also looks positive in downside. We expect some positive momentum in Delta to be continued today's because trading in overbought zone. So we expect this bounce back to be continuing towards upside. To second in Can Bank also PSU looks positive. So we expect Can Bank continue this momentum today also. But today we keep a strict stop loss because yesterday given a 5 to 6% rally in Can Bank for intraday. So first immediate support place around 5 46 45 and upside resistance 560. If break 560, then this rally to be continued on upside. Negative side, MGL and Navin Fluoro looks weak continuously. The MGL also, we saw the trading in overbought zone, and yesterday we see some profit booking in MGL. So this, if MGL break 1460 and trade below that level, then we expect further profit booking and further pressure to be continued towards 1400 and 1420 at downside. Upside 1500 first immediate resistance for intraday is managed to break that again. Then we expect further rally. Otherwise, this is trading in overbought zone to expect some profit booking in MGL. That's it for technical derivative backend.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. So on the derivatives front, as we are witnessing that the market trend seems to be on the positive to range bound session. Yesterday's session also, the time when on the upper end we have seen the supply from the Nifty front. At that point of time, we have witnessed that from 22,000 to 22,200 striker call at a position got added up sharply and it remained intact for the whole day. And on the downside, still we are seeing that 21,700 is a base support for the Nifty where we are seeing that from 21,700 to 21,500 level put at positions are holding strongly from last 2 weeks. So till the time, as I mentioned, same thing again as I mentioned yesterday also, that till the time Nifty is not going below 21,700 level and India VIX is not going above 16.5 level, till that point of time market trend seems to be on the positive front. Overall, if you look at the PCRY also, PCR yesterday failed to maintain and get stable above 1.18 level. Once if in next 1 to 2 days of trading session, PCIR again gets stable above 1.18 level, market trends again gets a positive front and put writer will get aggressive addition above 1.18, PCR gets stable. While on the banking front, we have seen that in yesterday's session, PSU Bank, small PSU Bank, outperformed in yesterday trading session, and we expect the same rally to be continued in today's trading session also. So overall, if you look at the sectoral space, also banking, realty, metal looks positive in today's trading session, and we might witness some fresh long position in these three sector. So keep watch on these counters. On the selective front, the counter that looks positive in today's trading session would be Chambal Fertilizer, as we have seen that from Chambal Fertilizer and Grasim. These two counter we have seen that the OI positions are trading on the lower end while the delivery positions have marked up sharply. So we expect the reversal and a short covering rally in today's trading session. So keep watch on these two counter, Chambal Fertilizer and Grasim. So that's it from the front. Thank you.
Good morning. Life insurance annualized premium equivalent growth for the month of Jan 2024 have come out. Max Life Insurance has posted the highest APE growth for January at 51%. Next, surprisingly, is Life Insurance Corporation LIC, which has posted 36% growth in APE. So expect the stock to continue to outperform, which is it has done recently. SBI Life has grown by 35%. While on the other hand, HDFC Life grew by just 10%, having underperformed the industry, and ICICI Prudential also grew by just 3%. Welspun Enterprises has been declared as a L1 bidder for a BMC build, design and operate contract for developing 2000 million liters per day water treatment plant. The project is designed and constructed, it has to be constructed within 4 years. And after that, O&M scope will be for 15 years. Total project value is 4,100 crore, out of which 2,200 crores is EPC value and remaining 1,900 crores is O&M. SJVN received a letter of intent from Gujarat Urja Vikas Nigam for 200 megawatt solar power project. So that's positive for SJVN. Ashoka Buildcon received a letter of award for 520 crores from NHAI for an EPC project in Bihar. That's also positive. And also in case of Ashoka Buildcon, the result was ahead of expectation. Revenue grew by 37% year on year as well as sequentially. Profit came at 87 crores against expectation of 78 crores. And last year it was 67 crores. So we are positive on Ashoka Buildcon. Another result which was good yesterday was Cummins India, and it was well ahead of expectation. Revenue came at 2,540 crores versus expectation of 2,250 crores, and it was up 16% year on year. Domestic sales were up 35%, while exports were down 40%. Outlook for domestic remains positive going forward as well. EBITDA came at 542 crores versus expectation of 372 crores and was up 31% year on year. So again, a good beat and along with good top line growth, operating leverage was there. Plus gross margin was also almost at a decadal highs, which resulted in EBITDA margin coming at 21% against expectation of just 17%. And previous range has been at around 18 to 19%. Profit came at 500 crore against expectation of 332 crores, and last year it was 414 crores. So this can be a decent large cap stock where we may see good outperformance in coming 2 to 3 months. Manappuram Finance result is above expectation owing to expansion in spreads and stable OPEX. Profit came at 573 crores versus expectation of 533 crores. Loan growth was at 4% sequentially, 27% year on year. However, non-gold book, which is now almost 50% of the mix, that grew by 8% sequentially and 48% year on year. Asset quality was stable. The only negative thing in the result was that the credit cost in MFI segment remains elevated at 4.4%. If we compare this with other decent performing companies like Credit Access, that was at around just 2.2%. And other companies also in between 2 to 3%, but this is on the higher side. This was partially because of floods in Tamil Nadu and also some political interference in Punjab and Haryana. But despite this high credit cost in MFI, the return on asset has been maintained at 5.2% and return on equity at 21%. That's why we feel that a gradual outperformance in Manappuram will also continue from here also. So we are positive. One more small company's result was decent. Centum Electronics. It's an EMS company. That is electronic manufacturing outsourcing company, where historically for this company, quarter 1, 2, and 3 have been loss making, and only quarter 4 was lumpy due to seasonality in its business. But this time around, quarter 3 also saw a turnaround, and revenue was up 51% year on year. EBITDA margin came at 9.7% against September quarter 8% and last year 5%. And resultantly, profit came at 7 crores against loss in sequential quarter as well as year on year. So we are positive on Centum Electronics. Thank you.
Good morning. Yesterday, Britannia Industries hosted the con call. And as we discussed yesterday, overall revenue grew by 1.5%, 1.4% on a YY basis, with volume growth at 5.5%, which is strong. Gross margin up by 20 basis points on a YOY basis at 43.9%, and EBITDA margin down by 20 basis points on a YOY basis at 19.3%. The management highlighted that urban demand was outpacing the rural growth. So if we observe that Britannia is focusing more on rural expansion, despite which it is observing urban demand is growing, and we expect that it will see rural recovery in the future. In terms of international market, it has observed profit growth across all markets. The management is expecting stability in the margins at current levels with aggressive top line growth, and it aims to achieve double-digit volume growth. And it is expected to invest in the states of UP and Bihar in FY25. The stock is trading at 50 times PE to FY25 EPS, and in the month of September, we had recommended this stock for our monthly picks, and the stock has performed well since then. We are still positive on the stock with the result performance and the strong growth outlook. Thus, we will recommend you to hold the stock. Nestle India Limited result was below expectations. Revenue grew by 8.1% on a YY basis. This was mainly on account of 8.9% growth in domestic sales, which was led by price and mix, but not volumes. This is as per the press release. And the gross margins and EBITDA margins were surprised positively. EBITDA margin grew by 12.5% on a YY basis, where the EBITDA margin reported at 23.8% was, and the company has approved the change in the financial year from December end to 31st March end, and it has declared third interim dividend of rupees 7 per share. The stock is trading at 61 points of PE to FY25 EPS, which is at expensive valuation. Thus, we are neutral on the stock. Tata Consumer Products Limited result was marginally above expectations. Revenue grew by 9.5% on a YY basis. This was driven by strong performance in India business, which grew at 10%. It has continued to see volume-led growth, and the salt and the tea has performed well. The company's growth business has also increased its contribution to its overall revenue with a strong momentum. For the quarter, international business revenue grew by 11%, and constant currency revenue growth stands at 6%. EBITDA margin reported at 15% versus expectation of 14.4%. The stock is trading at 64 times FY25 EPS, and we are positive on the stock. Thank you.
Good morning. Apollo Tyres result is ahead of expectation as revenue came at 6,595 crores versus expectation of 6,441 crores. EBITDA came at 1,208 crores, which grew by 4.2% on quarterly basis and 32% on yearly basis. EBITDA margin came at 18.3% due to improved product and market mix across geographies, along with stable raw material prices. This quarter, It also saw that European operations have outperformed the market. Additionally, further signs of recovery in overall European market can be seen, which will be positive for the company. At present, the stock is trading at PE of 19.5 times of FY24 EPS. Jamna Auto Industries Limited has also posted its result, and result has improved as revenue came at 607 crores, which grew by 5.6% on quarterly basis and 10% on yearly basis. EBITDA came at 79 crores and EBITDA margin stands at 13%. As per future guidance given by the management with respect to expansion of the aftermarket business and an improving product mix, that will definitely add on to the top line as well as to the profitability. Also, it has forayed into agri equipments to expand its product portfolio, which includes like rotavotors, fertilizer broadcasters, and cultivators. This will also help the company to reduce its exposure to the CV cycle. At present, the stock is trading at PE of 20.7 times of FY24 EPS. Minda result is below expectation as revenue came at 3,522 crores, which degrew by 2.7% on quarterly basis and grew by 21% on yearly basis. EBITDA came at 380 crores versus expectation of 396 crores. EBITDA margin came at 10.8% versus expectation of 11.3%. The company has bagged new orders worth rupees 250 crores annually from electric vehicle manufacturers. Major orders include off-board chargers from three-wheelers OEMs. Also, it includes EV motor orders from two more EV OEMs. At present, the stock is trading at P of 46 times of FY24 EPS. Thank you.
Yeah, apart from this, Trent has reported excellent set of numbers wherein revenue has grown by 52% year on year and margin has also seen good expansion to 18.8% versus expectation of 16.5 and last year 15.5%. Stock has moved up post the result in yesterday trade, but any corrections in the stock can be a good buying opportunity. Apart from this, Sanghvi Mover has reported a strong set of numbers wherein uh, revenue growth came in at 36% year on year and margin has also saw substantial improvement to 68% versus last quarter 61% and last year 61.5%. This is all driven by higher utilization of fleet, which has come at 87%, and also the yield has also improved to 2.3% versus last quarter 2.1%. So these factors has resulted into strong growth in revenue and EBITDA margins. And order book has also moved up and came in at 604 crore, that is 35% higher than the last year. So overall seems quite positive movement. Third quarter is good quarter and even fourth quarter is better than generally seasonally very strong quarter for the Sanghvi Movers. So quite possible they can sustain this trend in the coming period as well. Looking at the strong momentum in the performance, we expect this company to further outperform. We had recommended this stock various time and also last year around 1 year back at around somewhere at around 350 levels. Stock has multiplied from there. We still continue to remain positive on the stock, looking at the tailwind in the wind industry, which is contributing around 40% of their revenue. So that is likely to continue in the coming period as well. So outlook is positive and the stock can be hold on or can be purchased for target of 1350 rupees. Apart from this, Dreamfolk came up with the numbers. 3 quarters back, there was some change in the business model and which has resulted into decline in the EBITDA margin on year-on-year basis. But since last 3 quarters, the company is on the revival path and the margins has moved up from around 6.5% to 9% in this quarter. So things has improved for Greenfolk Limited, and the revenue growth continue very strong at around 49%. So outlook here again is positive for Greenfolk. So Lupin has reported numbers, and this has come again above expectations. The revenue grew by 20% year on year, and EBITDA margin came in at around 20% versus expectations of 18%, and last quarter 18.2%. Stock is trading bit costlier at around 44 time FY24 earnings. So outlook is neutral here. Inox Wind has won a long-term contract from CESC for supply and operation and maintenance contract for 1,500 megawatt, which is one of the largest order any OEM has won at a time. So this is for a period of 3 to 4 years. So this will act as positive for Inox Wind and also for CESC. Which was a bit lacking in the renewable energy, and now seems like they are coming back on the renewable energy strongly, like all other players. So positive for both CESC and Inox Wind. So Mangalore Chemical and Paradeep Phosphate has announced merger. Both are group companies, and now they will be having pan-India presence in the fertilizer with this merger. The merger ratio is at 187 shares will be issued for 100 shares of Mangalore Chemical and Fertilizer. So this is at 18% premium to premium for Mangalore Chemical. So a bit positive for Mangalore Chemical. I'll request the commodity team to take up from here.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Good morning, everyone. So in today's session, we are likely to witness profit taking and in gold. So prices are resisting 60 to 700 level on upside. So one can sell around 60 to 600 and maintain a stop loss of 60 to 800. And on downside, 60 to 300, 200 is the level where one should take profits. Silver also compared to gold, it is weaker, and prices are heading for 69,700 to 69,500 on downside. So it is weak below 70,400. So if a pullback comes till 70,400, then one should initiate a sell with a stop loss of 71,000. And if in the coming if prices test 69,500 earlier, then one can initiate a buy for a pullback with a stop loss of 69,000. And in crude oil, we are expecting prices to test 6,200, 6,250 on upside. So buying on dips in crude oil is recommended. 60, 61.20 one can buy and maintain a stop loss of 6050. And natural gas prices are trading weak below 170. So as long as it is trading below that levels, we are expecting prices to test 160, 158 on downside. So and more weakness could be witnessed if prices are closing below 160. So watch out for that. In copper, there could be some pullback till 715, 16, whereby again a resistance area, and there could be some selling pressure. So there could be some consolidation from 716 to 708, but however, selling around 16 with a stop loss of 720 is recommended. And in zinc also, 215 seems to be important support area. So there could be some pullback till 216.50, whereby again selling pressure will be witnessed. And if prices are closing below 215, then we are expecting further downside. So watch out for that. That's it from me. I'll ask Utkarsh to take the call forward.
Thank you, sir. Very good morning, all of you. For today's trading session in USD we are expecting some sideways to bearish momentum. So one can initiate a short positions if we get any pullback around 83 levels to 83.04 levels with a stop loss of 83.15 for the target of 83.90 and 83.80 levels. In GBP INR, one can initiate a long positions if prices breaks the level of 104.95 levels with a stop loss of 104.71 for the target of 105.20 levels. In Euro INR, if prices breaks and sustain above 89.65 levels, so one can initiate a long positions with a small stop loss of 89.42 for the target of 89.8, 89.90 and 90.05 levels. Thank you.